Hello, welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm Sharyn and I'm going to take you through a little practice today. So I'm going to have you find a comfortable seated position. You can grab weights. If you have little hand weights, you can grab like 1, 2, 3 pound weights. I wouldn't suggest too high of a number. And if you don't have weights, that's fine too. So we're going to think about coming into our body. We're going to come into our breath. We're going to consciously breathe, meaning we're going to think about our breath. We're going to take it in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to try to practice this way for the entire time. If this does not work for you, if it's uncomfortable, if you feel like you can't breathe, then you can take your inhales in through the nose and out through the mouth. And it's just a practice. That's part of the yoga practice. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. On the exhale, I want you to try to push as much out of your lungs as possible, and then that will deepen your next inhale. I'd like you to allow your abdomen to rise and fall with your breath. You're not holding anything in right now. Your shoulders move, your rib cage moves. And then I'm going to have you find your way to the edge of your seat so you have access for your arms to move. I tried a new chair today. I don't know how this is going to work. We'll inhale our arms up overhead and exhale them down. And as you start to warm up and you start to move, I have my elbows bent. As I bring them up, you can start to try to straighten your arms. That will create length in your spine. And just notice, do they start to bend at any particular place? Do you have tightness there? Maybe you want to stop and not bring your arms up all the way. As soon as those elbows start to bend. So just moving from there to there without bending your elbows. Just observing. There's not a right and a wrong here. We're just observing our body. We're observing our body's natural tendencies. And then I'm going to try to not bend my elbows at all. Bring my palms together. Bring my straight arms against the side of my head and pull. Hold and breathe. And then slowly bring your arms down. And have you pull one knee into your body. Do some little hip circles here. And then the other leg. And then I'm going to have you lengthen your spine. Your pelvis isn't tipped forward or backwards. It's completely neutral. You're lifting up from that low back. You don't have a curve there. We're going to bring our arms out and slowly lower onto our legs. So I'm going to have you spend time here stretching out your low back. You pulling from that low back area a little at a time. Stretching, allowing. And then you can bring your hands down. If it feels good, you can just leave them at your ankles or at your feet. Or if you're so inclined, you can take your hands underneath your toes and deepen that stretch. Taking those deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose, allowing our back to soften, Our shoulders are softening. Our mind is softening. So many things we can't do because we say we can't do them. We don't even think to try, or we defeat ourselves before we try. So just spending a few moments here, allowing your body to soften. Bringing your arms up halfway. Lifting from your core. Now we will tighten that area where our belly is. Inhale, our arms up overhead.
Pull toward the center.
Exhale down. I'm going to have you curl your shoulders and your spine forward like you have an angry cat back. When they hunch up their back and stick up their fur, we're doing that with our own spine. And then I'm going to have you lift, opening. You can grab the back of your chair and open your shoulders, opening your heart here and breathing. So one of these movements probably feels better to you. Just observe that. Does it feel better to curl forward? Or maybe it feels better to lift and open. And one of them might feel like it's more work. We're not judging, we're just observing. Our bodies tend to want to take the path of least resistance. So just observing where they resist, what's hard for us to do, what's easy. We're going to curl forward one more time, bringing our hands to our knees, curling our spine into a cat. We curl out here, we curl out our center. There's like a C here. And then we lift and open. You can use the back of your chair to help you assist with opening here. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And then I'm going to have you release your arms down. I'm going to have you take 2 fingers and slowly stretch out each one of your fingers. So we're not bringing it into a position of pain, we're bringing it into a position where we feel a stretch. So just gently stretching out each finger. They might get stiff, they might be worked. So just breathing as you open up some of these tight places. Take these deep breaths. You'll get new oxygen in these places that are tight. Improving oxygen flow, improves healing, can take out any cellular waste and bring in new nutrients, new oxygen, and new life. We'll do the same thing with the other hand. 2 fingers and just gently pull back. And you'll come to fingers that may feel a little bit tighter than others. Some might be very bendy. And then I'm going to have you bring both hands together and we're going to press gently into your wrist. So you're going to bring your hand as far back as you feel maybe a stretch in your wrist. And then coming up on the opposite side and stretching out your wrist here. And then I want you to be observant of your own body. If you have any sort of knee replacement, hip replacement, or any joint issues, then please don't do things that bring you into pain. We're not trying to force our body into positions that it doesn't want to go. I'm going to have you take one leg and bring it either to your knee or up over your knee or even further depending on you. And I have had quite a few people in class realize that they can actually sit cross-legged still. So if that is something that is of interest to you, then you can sit back in your chair and bring your other leg up also. We'll spend time here allowing our body to relax, and then we'll switch sides. So if you are sitting cross-legged, you'll come out of that position and you will switch the dominant leg. The leg that is on top will then be on the bottom. So I really want you to check in with yourself. As you sit here, I want you to think about how you feel. Do you have a good feeling in your knee and in your hip? Is your ankle tight? Do you feel tightness in your ankle? If you do, you can kind of straighten out that ankle a little bit by pulling on the foot, stretching out there. And then I'm going to have you reach down under your foot, under your knee, lift it up a tiny bit and rock your leg like a baby. You can release that leg onto the ground. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, being mindful of whether or not we have issues on one side that we didn't have on the other. You can bring it to your knee, up over your knee, or you can actually start to really bring your foot back into where that hip crease is, if that's comfortable for you. Sitting up straight. If you feel tightness and a little bit of stretching sensation, that's fine. If you have any sort of acute pain, then I'm not asking you to put your leg in this position. And then you can go to your foot and maybe straighten out your foot a little bit to help give some space in that ankle. Breathing. You can reach down, taking hold of your foot, taking hold of your knee, lifting it up a tiny bit, and rocking your leg like a baby. And then releasing that to the ground. I'm going to have you bring yourself to the edge of your seat. We're going to hold on. If you have no arms, you can hold on at the base of your chair. And we're going to bring our feet together like a frog. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then bring your knees together. We're going to bring them from one side and up to the other side. And then place them on the ground, sit and breathe. So that is core work. We're doing, we're engaging our muscles in our lower abdomen. The frog, that is adductor work. You're using the muscles on the inside of your thighs to open and close. So we're going to do that one more time, thinking about engaging your muscles in your inner thighs. You're engaging them, you're pulling them in, using them, you're holding and opening. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then I'm going to have you bring your knees together and bring them from the side to the middle to the side and down. Lift, straighten. You have lots of space in your back. No vertebra is collapsing onto itself. We have space in between each one of them. And then if you have no back issues, if you know that your back doesn't have pain and it feels good, it should feel good. I don't want you to twist if you have any sort of herniations. So we're going to bring our body up, lift, and over, and twist. So yes, our bodies, our spines are made to bend and twist. And stuff happens over our lifetime, maybe stops being able to perform the way it is intended to. I'm not asking you to force it to perform in a way that maybe it used to be able to perform. I don't want you to do things that hurt. And then coming forward, lifting, lifting, and twisting. And then coming forward, I'll have you take a leg out. We're engaging our core here. We're lifting straight. You can grab onto your base of your chair. If you have arms, you can grab onto your arms, and we're going to lift this leg and lower. Going to inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then I notice as I do this, my spine starts to curl forward. I don't want that to happen. I'm lifting up my spine. I'm keeping it straight, and I'm only lifting my leg as high as I don't compromise that lower back. So if I have to lift a little bit lower to not get that kind of crunch in my spine, then that's what I'm going to do. Bending, up, holding, pointing your toe, up, down, up, down, inhale, and exhale, and then down. Have you do that again on the other side, the other leg. Lift, lower. We're going to lift this leg up, hold, breathe, and then point our toe and lift. Point and lift. Point and lift. Point and lift. Point and lift. And then you can relax your leg, both feet on the ground. Breathing. I'm going to have you grab nothing if you want to do this with nothing. Perfect. I'll have you grab weights if you want to work with weights. I'm going to bring our arms up. Let our shoulder blades come down our back. They're not up here. We're not curled forward. Even if you just try to sit without curling forward and pull your shoulder blades down your spine with weights at your side, that's perfect. Working here, this is actually work for me. This is work for my body. And then we're going to inhale our arms up and slowly exhale them down. Inhale up and exhale down. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze, taking your attention, your consciousness, your awareness into your internal environment. You can almost picture what your muscles look like in there, working hard for you. exhale down. I'm going to have you stay here and take a few deep breaths. And we're going to inhale our arms up, slowly rotate them, and then lift them up.
And exhale.
One more time.
Inhale.
Exhaling down. Rotate and slowly lower. And sit up straight and breathe. Big breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. You can bring your weights or your empty hands in front of you. We have our feet about hips width distance apart. We're sitting up straight. Thinking about first, our shoulder blades are down our back. They're not hooked up around our ears. Inhale up. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale.
Inhale.
Move your body with your breath. Then we're going to have both come down, sit straight, and breathe. And now have you bring your arms out like a goalpost. So you have goalpost arms here. First, we're going to take a few deep breaths here. And then we're going to rotate our shoulders. So we're going to rotate down and keep one up. And then rotate and rotate. Breathing deeply. Both arms up, and you're going to slowly hinge them shut. We're going to take a deep breath here. I'm going to have you open and close. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then you can bring your weights down and take a deep breath here. You can put them to the side. I'm going to have you take a shoulder and bring it up, back, down, and around. You can actually, I'm going to sit on the side so I can actually move my arm. I don't have that nice space that I have when I use a chair with no arm, so. And then forward. And just observe, is there a place in your body? Is it easier to come forward? Is that where your body typically rests? And then as you bring it back, does that feel good? Is it like, oh, that's a nice stretch? We're going to come onto the other side. There's no right or wrong here. You don't have to look a certain way. A lot of people have this misconception in yoga. They have to look a certain way or be able to do a position, a pose. It's truly not what yoga is about. Coming forward. And I'm going to take my hand. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to bring it back up in between my shoulder blades. So it's comfortable. I have my fingertips in between my shoulder blades, and then I'm going to bend my other arm. Maybe my hand comes close to each other. Maybe they're nowhere near each other. If you're able to, you might be able to hook your fingers together. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. And I'm just releasing that, allowing your hands to come down. Deep breath. We're going to do the same thing with the other hand. Taking my hand and I'm placing it, maybe you only have it on your back. That's okay. Maybe you snake it up and bring it in between your shoulder blades. If that works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then bending this hand, putting it maybe on your neck, maybe in between your shoulder blades, and just allowing your body to maybe fingers touch. Maybe you're able to grip those fingers and hold and open. And as you hold here, maybe it starts to soften. So I can do that on one side and not on the other, and I've not ever been able to reach my hand on this side. So I just, in my head, I kind of just told my body, by the end of 2021, I'd like to be able to grab my fingers on this side too. And maybe that will happen, and maybe it won't, but it's a goal to have. So sitting, breathing, deep breaths. I'm going to have you very gently bring your arms up overhead. We're going to take hold of one of your wrists and just open up that side body. You can actually even leave your hand down and use the chair if you want to stretch. And then coming over to the other side, either grabbing hold of the wrist gently, opening up your side, or if you're like me and you have an arm on your chair, you can just simply allow your body to relax on the one side and just allow it to open on the other side. And then I'm going to move from side to side, so you can move from side to side like this, or you can move from side to side like this. And then for those of you who really want to get a full body stretch in, and you're comfortable, and you know your chair's not going to slip or fall, you can bring a leg out, keep a leg bent. So one bent knee, one straight knee, arm on your chair, and a lift. And that will just give you a nice full body stretch. But you're using the chair, and you know your chair is not going to move. And you know that you feel comfortable in this position. If you do not, then please don't attempt it. You can put bent knee, straight leg, lift. And this just helps deepen all of those stretches. You'll feel it in your hip, in your leg, and it feels good. And my chair just slipped a little, so just please be super, super mindful that your chair is not going anywhere. Lifting your spine, straightening. I'm going to show you from the side. So lots and lots of times we look down. So when we're on our computer, we look down. Phones, down.
You know, people play games, they have iPads. Down, head down, head down. So we're going to bring our head up, and we're going to very gently take 2 or 3 fingers. We're not forcing our neck. So we have a straight spine, and we're gently pushing our chin back. It could be like a millimeter. And that's just softening the muscles. These muscles get really tense when they hang out over our head, so we're softening them for a second. Breathing. Comes forward. Gently pushing it back. I know I look very ugly when I do that. It's not pretty. Don't look at yourself when you do it. you won't think you look good. It doesn't matter. We're gently pushing our chin back. No judgment. Don't look in the mirror and talk about how many chins you have and how. just don't. Just do it. So gently pushing your head back. And then forward. And then it comes forward. Back and forward. Back and forward. And then I'm going to have you find your internal being. So we're going to close our eyes here. And I'm going to I'm going to direct you. So I'm not going to tell you where to go, but I want you to go where your thoughts come from. So I want you to bring your own awareness to where your thoughts come from. And then is there a specific place in that region where they come from? Can you pinpoint it down to maybe the size of a grape? Can you make it smaller? Can you find where your thoughts come from and kind of almost make it the size of a pencil eraser? And then I want you to drop from that area where your thoughts come from down into your heart area. So it's almost like taking an elevator. And then as you come to your heart area, I want you to have your awareness in your actual heart organ. Can you feel it beating? And then this area where your beating heart is, can you expand it? So can you make that area bigger than the organ itself? Can you expand it outside of your rib cage? Can you comfortably make it as big as the room that you're in? Can you bring it to your favorite place? And then I'm going to have you let go of that also and take yourself somewhere in your own body that you feel you would like a change to occur. A place where maybe you've been carrying pain or discomfort, or you've been told that something there isn't medically 100%. And I want you to bring yourself to that spot. And you're observing that spot now. And then I want you to take that space that you created in your heart, and I want you to create that same space that you created in your heart in that area that you're at right now. Meaning, can you take it outside your body a little bit? And if it's comfortable outside your body, can you make it even wider? Can you expand it even wider into the room that you're in? Or even bring it to your favorite place? And then wherever you are, can you just shake out that area like you would a rug that has lots of dirt in it, and you just bring it outside and you shake it out. And then when you put it back down, you feel like you cleaned it and accomplished something. That's what you're doing to the area of your body mentally that you're in right now. You're shaking it out. You're allowing greater access for space and movement. And then we're going to take our awareness and bring whatever that area was out of our awareness. And we're going back into the thinking part of our being. Only we're not going to limit it. It's not the size of an eraser. It's not the size of a grape. It's the size of whatever you'd like to make it. So expanding that awareness, the thinking part of yourself, not limiting it to your own mind. And then I'm going to have you slowly open your eyes if your eyes were closed. I'm going to have you move out your wrists and your ankles. Smile. Smile as much as you can today. Even if there's nothing to smile about, find yourself smiling about something. And then I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me. Post any questions, comments underneath the video, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you. Bye.